Hello. Part 2, motherfuckers. Eyeshadow. Doing this part of the tutorial. Okay. Now that our eyebrows are set, we are going to take this Urban Decay eyeshadow primer Persian. It's a Persian. You can get them less expensive from NYX, e.l.f., which are both relatively inexpensive cosmetic brands as well. So you don't have to get this one. It was $25 for this size tub, but I will say this shit works out pretty well. Also, you're not applying a lot of it. So what I'm going to do is actually take the wand, and I'm going to put them over my lid and then use a sponge to just kind of tap it into there rather than using my finger. You can use your finger. I just don't like to.
Is there any way that in spite of all that he did, that he thought I was special?
No way in hell.
Let me ask you one more time. Anyway.
Sorry, but no. Now put that talk and yourself to bed.
Lewis. Amy wasn't allowed on you.
Girl, you drunk. Good night.
Try her again.
This time, though, I'm actually... Not this time. I do this every time. That's a lie. Some colors I use are too close to the color... For my eyeshadow, or too close to the color of my foundation. And so I am going to be taking that lighter concealer that we'll use later to highlight. And I'm actually going to apply that to my lid so that the eyeshadow really pops. Now, I will say that typically, those of you who do your eyeshadow after your foundation, you bitches do not fear man nor God, honey. I mean, I don't either, but I used to be that bitch, and lo and behold, I fuck my eyes up every single fucking time. I mean, shocking.
Fellow officer warned me that there was a car with donut tires. That car had been causing a lot of trouble down here in Kentucky. Now I wonder what's going to happen when I run these plates.
Okay. And then...
Lips so sharp from all that kissing. You might put just some
Sam, keep your hands where I can see 'em.
apply...
It's right here, officer. See, there is that chapstick.
That's a lot of cash.
Want some?
Sure would make it a lot easier on us for not have to do so much paperwork.
Okay.
Is that a Birkin bag? You know, my lady's been wanting one of those.
Also, probably didn't finish explaining why I do my eyeshadow before my foundation. I like to draw everything on pretty big, and I'm not always sure what shape I'm gonna go with. And so if I overdraw maybe out to here, or there's some fallout under here, we're gonna cover it with foundation anyways. Now, if you want to do your eyeshadow after, if it's easier for you, you'll see at some point we're gonna bake. I don't do Mary Jane Mary. Ain't that type of bacon, sis. I do want a brownie, though. Okay. You'll be taking that a highlighter powder, the Ghost one from Makeup Revolution, or whichever brand you're going to use, and you would highlight under to really kind of make the color pop even more. So what I suggest you do is if you want to do after your foundation, your eyeshadow, is apply your highlight here with the powder. This way any fallout falls into the powder and you can kind of dust it away. Still be careful because some powder or some fallout will still stain your fucking foundation, and Mary,
I'll take that as a yes.
it ain't the tea. It's not the tea. Alright, so now that I put some concealer over there, I am going to take my Morphe And this is the Such a Gem 39S palette. I mean, this thing is absolutely fucking beautiful. So this was $35. Morphe can be expensive. NYX has pretty good eyeshadow palettes. You can get small ones from e.l.f. too to practice with. These colors are super pigmented, and this palette is really nice. So this was $35, but there's 35 to 40 colors in here, and considering how pigmented they are, I'm not really dipping into the pan a lot, and so this is worth the investment, in my opinion. Now, I'm gonna do some reds and perps today. So what I'm gonna do first, one thing I've learned, thank you Nikki Tutorials, love you bitch, is
Not just tonight. He's been doing this pretty much every
to
night
tap
for years.
on your eyeshadow instead of brush it. I personally feel like, and it could be because of the brushes that I use, the eyeshadow blotches a shit ton more. And it's just easier, or I'm sorry, harder to blend if I'm not patting it on. So I am going to use this red to cover kind of half my brow and all the way down into my lid. Because now that we've kind of concealed and we've covered, you're drawing new eyes on. And when we get to the eyebrows, like let's say my shadow goes up to here and my eyebrow is actually up here, there's going to be a thin space in between where it looks patchy like that. But you're going to use like a white cream. I'm going to use my white liquid liner to highlight your brow bone. And if you, like if I decide to only go here with my eyeshadow and then my eyebrow starts up here, I'm going to have to color block this whole thing. And it's going to just have a big white block on my face and it just doesn't sit very well.
My cat has heartworms, and I need the money for her medications. You're so good. So good.
Okay. So I'm just going to go in and we'll start up here.
Here's a 20. Show's over, people. Go back home.
And like I said, I'm just going to pat it on because it's easier
Get out of here before you get locked.
than brushing. There's also less fallout. The powder's pretty much setting right into the concealer.
Yeah, I'm in the living room. But I see the champagne.
Yeah, well, I see that.
Okay, well, that's showbiz, kiddo. They can't all be Diana Ross.
And again, I'm not going to draw out a perfect wing because later on, once we're done with eyeshadow, the next step is going to be foundation. So once I'm done with that, if I draw over, I can use the foundation just to kind of cut right here and make it the shape that I want. I really don't know how to do like all those crazy eyeshadows you see some people doing. Like, y'all really have talent. I'm not there just yet, but again, practice makes perfect. And I will say, for me personally, out of everything I've learned about makeup, eyeshadow is just the hardest for me. And honestly, I don't practice it enough. Like, I've gotten better at gluing my eyebrows down, but that's because I've done it so many times that it's just, practice has made me a lot better. So for those of you who are out there like, I'll never be good at this. Oh, when? Oh my God. Stop yourself right now. You do not get to that 50th painting until you've done the first one. So, practice, 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 practice. I'm telling you, I don't know where the picture is. I'll see if I can find it. But Mary, I have one of just me with some foundation. And bitch, let me tell you something. It was not the tea, Jolene.
After a shout.
I mostly just watch old Oprahs.
What is that smell?
Breakfast. I'm done with the fast food. I need to start eating healthy again.
And you think chicken with a side of spray starch is healthy?
Yeah, it's better than eating that crap I got you. should be named that thing the edge.
And again, it's okay that it's not a perfect wing because we're going to cover it with the foundation. So don't look and be like, oh my god, my eyeshadow's ruined. No, it's really not. Because honestly, until you set powder on your face and you set your base, you can fix any of this shit. Like, it's really not that difficult, and that's why I'm doing whatever. See how I just got fucking... Hello. That's going to get fixed, Mary. I'm not even worrying about it.
Lonely, middle-aged, broke
Period.
drag queen. This would be desperate for any love or money you can get from me. Stop stressing, you look amazing.
Okay. And then...
Show me.
going to dip into... Oh, by the way, on this, the Such a Gem palette, the color I just used on my lid is this red
Thank you.
back here, top right corner. In case you're using it, Mary. I don't know the name of the color because I peeled the plastic off. I didn't keep it. Don't memorize it. It's just red, but it's also kind of pink. And that's what I'm doing. Okay?
Just like I did with Mr. White.
So now,
Years of competing to get that kind of.
I'm going to take
It was never gonna happen. Then I was
this kind of darker purple down here, right here. And I'm going to use this to go into the crease.
Jewel.
No. Epic face.
Actually, I'm going to smoke out the edges a little bit.
That and the naked pictures of your phone.
Now, with this part, I am going to brush instead of tap, but the difference is
Fine. I have the
I don't want a lot of fallout. So after I've applied powder to the brush, I'm going to just tap like that. And you kind of can't really see the excess falling off, but there is. And then I'm going to blow on it. Because if I just use too much purple, it's just going to take over the red. And it's just going to be a purple. Like, we want it to be blended. Again, I'm not perfect at this. Like, I can see that it looks purpley. But honestly, up closer in a mirror, you can see that the pink is in there. Okay?
I got us some essentials.
And you'll see, it'll look better once it's cleaned up and we set foundation on it. So I'm going to just do the other eye now. And I'm just going all along the top to where the red ends.
You hear me?
And I'm just going to smoke this area out. And then I'm going to fill in my lid with a different color purple.
Look at this cute.
I know some people do their, like, actual crease, like where it naturally is on your eye. I don't fill that in with color a lot because I'm going to go over that with this, since the colors... Because of the colors I chose for my eyeshadow, I'm going to go over my crease pretty much with the winged eyeliner. So you're not really going to see that color anyways, so there's no point in me just applying it for basically shits and giggles, okay? So now that that's kind of smoked out in the edge area, I'm going to take a different purple,
Cher is iconic.
but I'm only filling this in on my actual lid, excuse me. So I'm going to take this purple right here,
Don't you know any men or
next to the darker purple that I used to smoke out. And I'm going to apply this
you never talk about men? The only men
strictly over onto the lid, okay?
I know one. Bob Mackey.
Who's Bob Mackey?
Hey, for the third time, how dare you? Bob Mackey is a genius costume designer. Google it.
Google him. I'm having a bagel and look at Walk to Jump for the Frenchies Instagram. It's my money on Jane.
Bob Mackey was the entertainment industry in the 70s and 80s. He designed for everyone, darling. Everyone. Here, take a look at this.
I don't need to see some has-beens Google page.
He is not a has-been. I'll prove it to you. Bob Mackey, current news, okay? Bob Mackey, revisit Cher. No, not that one. Bob Mackey in the 80s. Not that one either. Bob Mackey Museum opens? What? There's a Bob Mackey Museum? Oh my God. You'll never believe this.
What? It's iconic.
No, it's in Tennessee. And where are we going? Tennessee. God, it's all about Tennessee right now. It's only 6 hours out of our way.
6 hours for a museum? That's
Again, we're seeing a lot of fallout, but relax. Because it's gonna be fucking fixed up
And I want to look at
in a minute.
I mean, Watching Museum. What would you say to that?
I'd say let's hit it.
Thank you. Now, Juliet, here we come.
Who is it?
It's Louis from next door.
He could. Who is it?
It's Louis from next door.
Who is it?
It's me, Louis from next door.
Oh, be quiet. Be still.
Okay, and then I'm just kind of filling in that red all in the middle with just a small amount of the purple that we went in with before. Because if you look at it, it was too red, and you want the colors to be blended. Again, if you don't like this and you're watching it, you don't think I know what I'm doing, by all means, you don't need to be here. I don't need you judgmental ass. I'm trying to help people who want to learn a little bit about makeup, who are maybe at the same point in their process as I am. I'm not perfect. No one should be perfect. You need to relax. If you're over here judging me, try somebody the fuck else, period. Okay, but because I don't want it to be too much of that kind of darker color, I'm gonna go back into that red.
The mother was coming in at all hours of the night.
And I'm gonna go
Low cut top.
just up the top.
The butterfly.
Was it on the sequence?
Yes, with her tatas hanging out.
Do you know where she moved to?
Yes.
Okay.
The corner of 7th and 4th.
Mrs. Sweetie!
Who is it?
Oh, no, man.
Alright, and then all I have to do,
You wouldn't even drive a mile out.
because I really want this purple on the lid to stand out, I'm just gonna go back over it again.
10 hours out of the way, and I have to crawl there? Bob Mackie gives me life, and I need it.
And at this point, if you have to use your finger, Mary, you go ahead and use your fucking finger, Mary.
How is this?
America. Welcome to small town USA.
They have a pet store.
Yeah, right next to an ice cream parlor. So far, everything's right on brand. Oh, look. This nice young man is helping a little old lady across the street.
Okay.
Not so urban.
So honestly, as far as the base for the eyeshadow goes, we're pretty much done. We'll clean it up with the foundation, and then I will add the black wing liner and the eyelashes at the end of it. I don't want to do it now because I want to wait to cut with my foundation to see where the line is actually, or where the wing is going to go. And this way the eyeliner doesn't come out any weird. And sometimes it smudges and it's a little bit harder to cover. So that's it for this portion. And then the next video, we're going to go into our base with our primer and our color correcting concealer. Probably foundation too. So see you in a minute.